everybody, and welcome back to the NECC week number 1 in season 0. My name is Bass from the Past, and joined with me, Novanta. Welcome back, my friend. You just got to see an amazing series, and now you're back again for our final game of the night. Are you as excited as I am, my man?
That's right, Mr. From the Past. This is the nightcap, and I, for one, cannot be more excited. Boise State 2, Fresno State Red. It's going to be a clash for the ages.
Absolutely. We've got our two teams just about ready here on the field. It's going to be a Division II West Coast battle between the two of them. And this is a bit of an interesting one. So we got to see the number 1 squads for both of these teams play here earlier here on the stream. Unfortunately, neither of them were able to take away a win. So this is for both these squads. They're going to be fighting to put that first win on the board on stream. Both of these squads have proven that they're going to be valuable and that they're going to be a really, really good contender. But honestly, this first match is going to be so important to set that tone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, both teams have chips on their shoulders and have the supporters in the chat right here. They want something to prove in this matchup, and it really is any team's go. So this first minute's going to be critical to see which one exerts the most dominance.
We'll have to find out. Everybody is joining the field here. We are going to wish good luck to both of these teams, and it is going to be an absolute battle between the two of them. FSU is going to be in the blue. Boise State will be in the orange. Good luck to the both of them as game number 1 is underway already. We've got some midfield play. Oh my word, the jump from circuit almost slammed that one in. Toxic will regain this one out at midfield, but my oh my, we're off to an explosive start as the Laylokes is going to put this one in from the sidebar. Only 15 seconds in, and already we've got a team on top.
Looks like Laylokes is not being paid from the hour. A nice rebound on that shot to break the deadlock early into game 1.
Oh my word, only 15 seconds in, and already the energy is here. These teams are ready. They want a shot. They want to prove that they are the team to beat in their division, and they want to prove that they can take the first win for their school on stream here. Both squads doing a pretty good job of keeping this midfield presence, and as Thunderama takes this to the corner, it looks like a solo play might finally develop for Boise State. Just out of the corner is not really going to help them, and as D-Scott gets the follow-up touch, they might be able to get out of their own half. Unfortunately not. FSU will still be locked in here. Thunderama makes another touch back out to the center. Tries to get a redirect to the center. It is actually a pass, but it's going to be deflected by D-Scott. Toxic will be there for the rebound. Can't quite get the shot on target already here, Novanta, though. We are seeing an absolute suppression. Boise State are just taking shot after shot at their opponents.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you have these kind of games, you want these two teams to have a sussing out period to see how each strategy is going to be. But when it begets a goal so early, you have two energies growing. One, you want the first team, in this case Fresno State, to get 2 on the board to put some daylight between them and their opponent. And then for Boise State, you want to make sure you're that much right behind them. So we're going to see a little bit more aggression here between these two squads.
I have a feeling that this entire first game is going to be pretty aggressive, and that might slow down as the teams continue to play this one out. But for right now, it's going to be nonstop action as D-Scott will make this one in. I thought it was going to be a standard shot to a block, but unfortunately a bit of a miscalculation on the back end, and this one's just going to slot on in.
This one here was a shot, got the bump after the fact for his trouble, but you know what? It was golden. 2-0 Fresno.
Good start for Fresno for sure right now. They're doing a great job at not only holding off on the back end, but making sure to keep this suppressive offense no longer working. I honestly thought that eventually we'd see Boise get something through, but it's been these counterattacks, these quick changes on the other end that have left FSU to take this lead so early. And as they go into their opponent's half yet again, D-Scott will pop to the middle. Adrian will not get there in time. But again, it just doesn't look like the defense right now is as steady as it needs to be for Boise.
Yeah, the defensive cues have been a little bit sluggish, but there's still some time to make sure that's a correct. I mean, only 2 minutes have elapsed in this first game, so Boise can make something happen, but I gotta say something for you, Mr. Bass, in the past. It has to happen soon, because Fresno's been so dynamic on both sides of the pitch.
Oh, absolutely. We only have about half of this game left here, 2:40 on the clock. And as it goes back into the half of Boise yet again, they're really just trying to clear this one out and maybe develop a play. Adrian will prevent that as he pops it around one. D-Scott will try to back him up, but Thunderama will get in the way. Maybe an opportunity. This one's on target, but Toxic can't get the bump. And Laylokes will pop that one out for now. Not the end of the offense quite yet. Or maybe I spoke too soon. The counterattack, quick and effective out of FSU here. This is something we also see seen a lot, Novanta. This has been this transition play out of FSU has separated them from Boise for right now. Boise don't really seem to be as quick with the pace. When they get into their opponent's half, they don't shoot as quickly. And this is exactly what I mean. FSU, they're locked into their half for a second, but 2 good plays in a row. Laylux with a great flick and a great shot to follow up from Adrian, and they're up 3-0.
I was just about to commend Boise for being able to be there and present on those shots from Fresno, but they're just one step behind, and the speed is what has been the difference. 3-0, no goals scored for Boise. I think Fresno might have this in a runaway.
Unfortunately so. With 2 minutes left, there's a chance that they can try and bring this one back, but the big thing is that they need to work effectively and they need to work on their shot power. Their shots just don't seem to have that power, don't seem to have that lethality that they need to, and, well, they may not be able to win game number 1, but getting a goal underneath their belt is going to be crucial here. Keeps them in the series, it keeps the momentum in their side, or at least about even, and, well, it's going to be really important for the rest of the series here, as a 3-0 scoreline to start off is absolutely devastating, and, well, they've got an opportunity here. Circuit, though, can't get the follow-up touch, and Laylox on that quick transition yet again off the backboard. D-Scott will be there, but can't get the shot on target. Adrian will still clean it up, though, and again, this is the pacing we're talking about. They're able to make a save, they're able to clear it out, but no follow-up touches, and it's just every single time FSU interrupt before Boise even get a chance.
Yeah, Boise got a little slice of respite there. D-Scott's shot was off target, but the absolute time he had to make that shot should not have happened at this level, because this could have been even more emphatic in the scoreline if Boise's not shoring up their defense.
Absolutely, and unfortunately for right now, it doesn't look like they're making those necessary changes. About 50 seconds left here in this game, and still not a single goal on the board for Boise so far. This has been a great game at FSU, though. This has been phenomenal so far. Finally, though, we do see a goal come through here. Toxic will take advantage of the demo out in midfield. This could be the separating factor. If we start to see some physical play, maybe that gives the edge to Boise.
I gotta give credit for Toxic for lying in wait for the service by Circuit, because a lesser team would have got kind of anxious, trying to run up the wall themselves. So the patience was rewarded with a goal within 2.
They finally have a bit of a shot here. Only 30 seconds left, though. If they want to try and keep the pressure going, they might be able to take this first game, but unfortunately, FSU, they're not letting up at all. Fresno continue to pepper the net as Circuit is forced to make their 3rd save of this game. Toxic, though, did get a good touch out in the midfield here. Tries to slot the angle, but can't quite get it on target. Circuit will pick up the follow-up touch to keep the offense going. Maybe if Thunderama can get this one in, but after 2 failed shots in a row, I just don't think they have the time. FSU will hold off for now in game number 1, and they might even get a 4th goal here. D-Scott tries to get a double touch. Not quite able to, but even without that, they will take game number 1 absolutely in force, I would say.
The first half, or even say the first 2/3 of this first game, was all FSU. They covered the pitch. They were the faster team. But there's something about that goal that Boise State got off. I do think they've seen what they can do with their pacing, what they can do with spreading out their offensive attack. This may be a bit of a contest, especially into going to the next game. So game 2 may be a critical do or die kind of situation for Boise State to see if they have the tools to take down FSU.
Yeah, they've got a shot here. It's going to need to be, I'm not going to say picture perfect, but it's going to need to be as much as they can muster here. They really got outclassed in a lot of different ways in that last game. You can look at the stat line alone and kind of understand that. 8 total shots for FSU. Meanwhile, Boise only had 3. They were forced to make 4 saves as well, and FSU only were forced to make 2. So it's kind of telling to show that FSU, for the most part, really did have control of that offensive pace for most of that game. Meanwhile, Boise really didn't have the shot there. So Fresno, if they keep doing what they're doing in this last game, they'll be fine. Boise, though, they've got to make some changes.
I'm looking at Thunderama to step up, to be able to allow his teammates or her teammates to occupy more parts of the pitch. You see, it's almost like it was rendered invisible in this first contest. So that may be the X factor if Boise wants to level the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, game number 2 is underway here. We've got the kickoff. We got to hope that we see a bit of a stronger start out of Boise here. They need all the momentum they can get. Otherwise, FSU will take game number 2 and put themselves on game point. But we'll have to see. Game is underway here. And already, though, it looks like FSU back to their usual stuff on offense yet again. Laylox will try to collect this one out at midfield, trying to play patiently and get a pass out to a teammate. Not quite able to do that as they are interrupted by Thunderama. Toxic will get the follow-up touch. But now we're seeing a bit of a midfield play. This is different than we had seen before Novanta. These teams seem a little bit more hesitant.
Well, hesitant may be one side of it, but I like to say that there's more challenging happening in the air, which we didn't see as much of that in the first game. So I like the fact that, again, Boise is actually reading the plays of Fresno State. They just have to pick up their pace to get those challenges off in their direction, in their favor.
Have a chance to do that, but again, unfortunately, FSU will not stop putting the pressure on the offense. Laylox will wait for a second to try and let Circuit make a touch, but this midfield presence, again, so impressive as they get around two. Can't get around the entire defense, though. Adrian will have to back him up, but that will be the end of it. Thunderama now going to make a good touch to the center. Laylox has a bit of a odd clear. Adrian has to back them up. Scary defense for just a second there for Fresno State, but they will survive for now. But Boise, they're starting to build a pretty lethal offense here.
Yeah, forced out mistake. That clear was pretty much uninspired. That could have been a goal had the team been a little bit faster on the recovery. But you don't want to see those kind of mistakes because that could easily become something that can be exploited if a team finds that and narrows it home.
One of the biggest things is taking advantage of those opportunities, capitalizing on those mistakes. It really can be the separating factor for teams sometimes, but for right now, we're about 2 minutes into game number 2. This one was looking about even. It is very clear that Boise understood they were making some errors in the first game they could not afford, and they have tightened up very well here in this second game, but unfortunately, they haven't done enough to also improve that offense. Thunderama will try to here. This one out to the middle, but D-Scott will block the shot from Toxic. Almost able to slot it through. Boise with really one of the first offensive opportunities in quite some time there.
Absolutely telling that they got their first really clean shot on goal. Definitely a reverse of the first game in this series. Boise has something there. They got to put it all together. And if you're looking at Fresno State, you have to start wondering, why hasn't this game been as easy as the first? What are you doing? What can you adjust to make sure the storyline is back in your favor?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a difference in the offense here for Fresno. As we get past the halfway point in this game, they still do not have a goal. Maybe able to change this here, not quite. Thunderama will get a light clear that I didn't think was going to go far, but Circuit going to make a good follow-up touch. The clear past two. Toxic won't have the best shot, so D-Scott will be able to get back to it. But again, you can just see Boise is playing this very differently. They are breaking down the defense out of Fresno right now, and it's kind of looking like Fresno's getting a bit flustered because of it. This midfield presence is something they're probably not expecting.
Right. If I'm Fresno right now, I'll probably use the flanks to my advantage, but until they figure that out, going downtown, going right down Broad Street has been one of the worst ideas because Boise has figured out that game plan and are finding ways to exploit your offensive attack.
So far, they just can't seem to get anything through the midfield. Like you said, it's never really clear. Someone is going to interrupt them, and that's one of the biggest things. You mentioned at the beginning the aerial battles that we're now seeing are a little bit more contested, a lot of less free room up in the air here, and, well, it's the reason why we've been at a stalemate for 3.5 minutes. A minute 25 left in this game. Not a single team has scored a goal here. Maybe it can be FSU as they now are trying to build an offense. Trying to play with a bit of patience here, the possession play, but Circuit will interrupt that one. Thunderama can't quite get to the follow-up touch, so we'll have to try in the air. Adrian, though, going to clear this one out to the side, and D-Scott will get the follow-up touch. Here come FSU again on offense. A pass out to the middle, but no one will be there. Adrian was going for the bump, and unfortunately that pass by D-Scott, although it was good, was really to no one. And, well, this is sort of the panic that we were talking about at FSU right now. They don't look nearly as in sync as the last one, and the missed rotations on defense are another way to prove that. Adrian and D-Scott both there, but neither one of them wanted to jump, and you can just tell FSU have a little bit of improving to do here as the rotations are just not quite up to standard.
Yeah, things are breaking down because it's the witching hour. You're looking at a tied scoreline. You want to be a hero. So a lot of times you cut rotations, you kind of double commit on trying to get balls and cleared because you want to make sure the game goes in your favor. But now's not the time to do that. You want to buckle down and go back to what works and be as tight as you can to give yourself opportunities to score.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest things is not panicking at the end of the game, making sure that you play traditional Rocket League. Every once in a while, you get that team that's trying to play just a little bit too flashy. Oh, my word. And it can sometimes lead to their demise. Almost an opportunity for everybody off of FSU to finish this game off. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. It will not. Overtime we go here. Novanta, listen, I knew these teams were going to be tense. For them to go to overtime and keep it at 0-0 the whole second game never would have crossed my mind.
Yeah, that tells you two things. One, they're both good at reading each other's plays, and two, they both want to win, and we have ourselves a drag-out dogfight here. Golden goal rules. Next one will win the game, and it's anyone's call right now.
Fortunately, though, for FSU, it doesn't look like they're getting much opportunity to break through here. As Circuit will make another interruption. Laylos will get to the follow-up touch, but Toxic will be there to try and continue the offense. Circuit tries to get to the pass, but cannot as it is interrupted, and Adrian will recollect and flick around his opponent as well. Again, it's a little bit of, I'm not going to call it hesitation, but it's patience right now. Neither team wants to make that big error on defense because they know the minute they make one misrotation, they make one bad touch on the back half, and the other team will capitalize. So this patient play is really being advantageous for both sides.
Yeah, you really see that when the first game is pretty much a heavy decided in one favor, one team, because the one that won the first game want to make sure they can put themselves in series points, so they don't want to make a mistake. And if you're down one game, you want to make sure you make it level. So it's really one of the few times where both teams are trying as hard as they can and probably getting both sweaty in their comms right now.
Oh yeah, and I can imagine after that little scare, I have a feeling all of FSU is a bit panicked right there. Almost able to just dribble on in as a couple missed rotations and defensive errors happen, but luckily they go unpunished. Now they've got a shot on offense. Maybe they can get something going. No one out at midfield though, so the clear's going to go out to Toxic, where maybe now Boise can slot this one in. Toxic's going to get the angle! Oh my word! Listen, I said maybe they slot it in. There is no way I thought Toxic was going to nail this angle though. What a shot!
That is a textbook slot. That's a slot and a half. That's a slot squared, and Boise levels the series in OT 1-1.
Oh my word, that's a way to end it for sure. Toxic doing a great job there, and like you said, evens up the series. This was exactly what we wanted out of Boise State. This is the exact change around that we were looking for. They came into this game with way more aggression. They played the offense to their favor. And while, yes, this was a tense game, and really I do feel like there were a couple opportunities where FSU might have capitalized, the score sheet alone shows how different of a game this was. 8 shots to Boise State, 1 shot to FSU.
I understand good defenses are on offense, but you can't win if you can't score. And just like that, I said in the last game, Thunderama stepped up, covered a lot more ground. Granted, we don't get points for demos anymore, but if you could, Thunderama will probably be in the driver's seat there, giving Toxic the space to be more of a threat up top in the top third. That's what Thunderama needs to do as this series continues.
And it looks like they've got a winning strategy here. The question will be is whether or not they are able to continue that throughout this series. I think that they've got a good chance to try and run the momentum on their side, but at the same time, I mean, FSU game number 1 looked deadly. So if they return to form, I have no idea how close this one is going to be. And well, we'll have to find out in game number 3. This is going to be such a telling game, Novanta. What do you want to see out of these teams here to start off in game number 3?
Yeah, you know, it looks like FSU is a big prize fighter that doesn't want to block its face, right? So you have a stronger team that's faster, that's able to go to the sky quicker, but when you go to the flanks, it always feels to fall apart for FSU. You got to show up both sides of the pitch, not just the middle. And if you're Boise, keep on doing what you're doing. Have Thunderama be the heavy hammer in the pitch, and that is what I was just saying. Thunderama will be the X factor and scores early into game number 3.
You know what? They'll take what they can get here. A bit of a weird kickoff. Really, not the kickoff they were looking for at FSU. But hey, Fresno, you're going to have to play perfect against Boise right now because they are capitalizing. Any extra momentum for them could be deadly. And well, a 1-0 start is definitely not how FSU wanted to start this one. And possibly 2-0 as here they come on offense yet again. Boise are unrelenting here as they rip off a plethora of shots to start off. They already have 2 shots and it's only been 20 seconds.
Yeah, plethora, a myriad, a cornucopia, you name it. When you have an onslaught, make sure you keep your foot on the neck and keep on shooting.
And that's exactly what they plan to do as Circuit rips on another one. Adrian will make the save, but again, this is not the end of the offense here. Thunderama going to play patiently. D-Scott, though, ooh, a good 50, and the demo might leave some room for FSU to start an offense here now. D-Scott will rip one on target. Toxic barely gets back to that. But again, this is a bit of a different play than what we had seen previously. Last game, a little bit of patience out of both teams. This one, they have come all cylinders firing.
Yeah, that pivotal game 3 is pivotal for a reason. This will tip the balance into whoever wins this one is on series points. You're going to see a little bit more. I know aggression's a word we use a lot, but we're going to see a little bit more bravery when it comes to taking shots, taking out their opponents, and making sure they're seeing the pitch.
And that ideally is what you want to see, is players make that little bit of a risky play and then have their teammates behind them rotating properly so that they can back them up. And right now, we actually are seeing that. The rotations out of both teams are really impressive. I think they're doing a great job on both sides of the field. The question is which team breaks first? Right now, it looks like, oh, I thought it might just be Boise, but somehow they survive. Laylox will continue the offense here as it's pumped off the backboard. No follow-up touch from anyone off of Fresno. They still do continue the offense here as they patiently wait at the midfield. Adrian, though, will get beat by Thunderama. Maybe a chance. Yes, indeed, it will be a chance now. Boise might be able to start an offense. Circuit gets a good 50. This one just barely off target. But Adrian's clear is not going to be perfect. And off the bar it goes. A shot did rip off from Toxic. He did have an opportunity, but unfortunately it goes bar and out. It is still a 1-0 scoreline for Boise, but they cannot afford to miss opportunities like that.
Yeah, you're not going to get a shot on a silver platter quite like that at this level. It was a lazy clear. It could have been easy to capitalize. Didn't go its way, and I hope that's not a game-breaker moment for the squad.
Not only at 1-0, it really is such a tight game. One single goal is such a huge difference maker right now. And oh my word, Thunderama clears that scarily across his own net. I thought we might be going to a tie game, but unfortunately for FSU, they are not capitalizing the way they need to right now. You said it earlier, we need to see more bravery out of FSU here. They started off playing very aggressive, but as time has gone on, they've become more and more hesitant. I think that they're trying to avoid going down by 2 goals here, but at the same time, by being so hesitant, being so patient, and trying to avoid that scenario, they're just leaving less room for them to get this comeback started.
Before, FSU is on paper and in practice a stronger team. They just have crisper rotations, but if you're not using the talents that you're given, you are basically moving at an Ice Age pace, and Boise has been able to be a little bit quicker than they were in game 1 to get the ball moving a little bit more and open up chances for them, and that's why they're ahead.
They're ahead with only about 1:40 left as well. This one kicking down, and there is not much time for FSU to start this comeback, to start the momentum in their favor, especially when Thunderama and Circuit are linking up like this. Toxic gonna try to finish it off, but could not quite get before T-Scott. T-Scott will make the interception, which will give some time now. Maybe FSU can build an offense here as it dribbles around midfield. Toxic, though, will rip off a shot. Almost an incredible bump, I believe, out of Thunderama, but again, this is the pace you were talking about. Boise, they're just getting in FSU's face. Fresno need to play a bit quicker here. They're just getting outpaced all over the field. And oh my word, even there they get outpaced. Circuit will make the second touch and it won't go through. But again, 2 shots in a row before anybody off of FSU touches it.
Yeah, one of the things about Rocket League is that it gets compared to soccer. Well, a lot of it, and I said it before, it's a lot like boxing. If you keep allowing your opponent to shoot and shoot and shoot, the levees will break. You have to clear out as far as you can. I know booms aren't the best meta, but sometimes it gives yourself some space so you can recollect your thoughts, or else you'll be making those mental mistakes and conceding goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, the boom's not going to be perfect, but if you're not booming it ever, the other team is going to know that. They're going to recognize that you're trying to possess. They're going to recognize that you're trying to play a little bit slowly, and they will jump on that like no other. So, unfortunately, you have to vary it, and as they have not done that, FSU, the clock is ticking down. 15 seconds, maybe one more attempt at an offense here. If they do not finish it right here, they're going to be down by 1 game, and their opponents will be on match point. Boise, though, will get the clear here. Toxic sends this one well out of the half, and I think that might be it. FSU gonna scramble to maybe get one more touch here, but cannot keep it up. Boise State 2 will take game number 3 and will put themselves on match point.
That's right, best of 5 series, and Boise's in the driver's seat after dropping that first game, and you know what? Well deserved. Again, we saw the space that Thunderama got in this game and got the MVP medal for its troubles. Look at this shot line. I mean, look, what's that, 11 shots for BSU, over 2 for Fresno State? You can't win games shooting 2 times an entire game, and that 1-0 scoreline could have been a lot more.
Yeah, and again, it's the same sort of scoreline we saw in the last game here, where it's just Boise ripping shot after shot after shot. Meanwhile, Fresno are just making save after save after save. Fresno had 8 saves that entire game. They literally were trying to save every single thing that they could, and as a result, it just didn't seem like Boise were ever that scared. That's one of the biggest things about this, is making your opponents uncomfortable, making them feel like at some point, oh, they could lose the game. There were opportunities for Fresno, but unfortunately, because they just didn't ever really finish off those those opportunities, it never looked like Boise were all that frazzled. They seemed very calm and collected the entire time. So going into this last game, we saw a couple of demos and bump plays, but I dare say we need to see 100% more of them out of Fresno State.
Yeah, this is why we say punishment in esports, right? Because if you make a mistake and your opponent lets you off, you get your confidence back with the quickness. So a lot of opportunities for Fresno State could have jumped on, didn't happen, and I just shifted the power, the psychological balance between the two squads, and Boise is on serious point for a reason.
Yeah, they are, and here we go. Game number 4. This is an opportunity for Boise to finish it all here. However, like we said, these two teams have gone back and forth most of this day. The last game only separated by one, oh my word, defensive error. But they're still not capitalizing. Fresno get gifted an opportunity, a demo perfectly in front of the net. This one, though, is it going to dribble in? No one's going to follow it up. What's going on here? Okay, Adrian will follow it up. My heart beating far too fast for this late at night. At 30 seconds in, finally FSU are going to find the back of the net.
This was called a Pyrrhic clear, right? Circuit clears it off the line, but puts himself out of position for the follow-up, and that was the kind of goals that should have went in all the time. Easy on the platter, Fresno State's back in the driver's seat, 1-0.
And this is a huge opportunity for Fresno right now. If they can run with this momentum, this is going to be absolutely crucial. Last game, Boise got 1 goal from a weird defensive error, and that is what carried their momentum throughout the game. Fresno, they've got an opportunity to do exactly that. It may be a weird goal. It may not be the perfect one. Oh, my word, but you're going to have to take what you can get. Similarly, though, Boise, they're going to have to take what they can get, as these attempts are insane and just bouncing all over the place. Bar and out, back out to midfield here. Laylo's going to try to run with this one, but this is about as chaotic as ever right now, Novanta.
Yeah, tensions are mounting here. Usually when a team scores so early, I would say, you know what, there's time to score, get that back. But the goals have been so infrequent and so erratic. I mean, it might as well be a game point. So now more than ever, you got to make sure if you are Boise State to get back on the board before you run out of time.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need to get in here very quickly. They have 3.5 minutes, but if the momentum falls too far in the favor of their opponents, they really will not have the time. Oh my word, and it's a weird clear out of Thunderama. Laylos will dive into that one. Not quite able to finish it off, but again, another defensive error is going to leave room now for the offense out of FSU as they clear it out to the side. D-Scott to Laylos. Laylo's not able to find anyone in midfield, and Thunderama will try to open the scoring for Boise here. Toxic, though, going to find the clear out from D-Scott, maybe give one more opportunity. This one's cleared out to the midfield, but Thunder going to jump a bit too late. Now we're seeing a bit of a flip to the script from what we saw in the last one. Last game, Boise were beating, oh my word, FSU to everything. This game, all of a sudden, FSU, they seem to have the pace in their favor as they are dusting Boise in every single aspect right now.
Have the pace, but haven't been able to create an organic chance as of yet. Their 1 goal this time was kind of a defensive collapse. What they need to do is actually have an aggressive score on their own, and they instill that confidence back they saw in game 1.
Have to find out if they can do exactly that, as we have 2.5 minutes left here in what is an extremely crucial game. This would be such a great way for Boise to finish this one off. Instead, though, they're having a bit of calamity on the back half here. Last game we mentioned FSU were starting to have the pressure felt against them. Now all of a sudden it looks like Boise are feeling the pressure as Thunderama has to make yet another save. Now a bit of a weird touch out to the middle. D-Scott tries to rip a shot on target, but again, it's this unrelenting pressure we're seeing out of FSU, and they can't hit the back of the net, but man, are they getting the opportunities to do so. Oh, and now there's an opportunity for Boise as there's a mistouch in the corner. Thunder's going to pop this high. Toxic will be there, but can't get the touch. Another opportunity for Boise, and they still cannot find the back of the net.
Yeah, it's getting a little chippy out there. Both teams making mental errors. I think both of them want to make sure if they can either force a game 5 in Fresno State's case or shut it away in Boise's case. And it looks like Fresno may win that tug of war. Here is a lead. It's now doubled with less than 90 seconds to go.
Oh my word, this is an opportunity here for Fresno to not only take this game, but really take the momentum into game number 5. 2-0 is a great scoreline, but if they score another one, all the momentum will be in their side. And, well, they've got the time to do exactly that. 1:30. Oh my word, but you can't count out Boise yet. Boise State with a banger of a shot off a kickoff.
On the backside, I'm not sure if that counts as a turtle goal, but it should be something majestic. 2-1. Boise claws one back.
All right, well, 30 seconds ago, we were saying, hey, Boise, get yourselves ready for game number 5, where you're going to have to make sure the momentum is not in your opponent's favor. Now, I dare say, Boise, maybe try to finish this one off here. You're only 1 goal down. You've got a minute left. You've got the pressure on, but you're not going to get as many opportunities like that. And as the demo comes out on the back half, wait a minute, I thought D-Scott was going to put the nail in the coffin. This door is still wide open. Boise have a chance as an open net does not get scored upon. And now with only a minute left, they can do this if they can hold off the pressure. FSU will try an offense. Circuit will miss that one, but Thunder will get a chance here. Novanta, my heart is beating out of my chest.
If D-Scott should ask himself why. Why did he not put the nail in the coffin, the dagger in the heart when he had the chance? I am as confused as you are.
It's a bit baffling, but at the same time, Boise State will take what they can get. Adrian has to make a desperation clear, but it is very clear Boise State are ready to finish this one now. Their offense has become electric, all of a sudden awakening. They have brought a beast out. Fresno State need to hold off for only 15 more seconds, and they will take us to game number 5, but that is a mighty task indeed as Boise look poised to put one in. Johnson puts his eyes, and the double tap will tie up the game with 8 seconds left.
Oh, you left it completely unmarked. Look at this. D-Scott tried to get a hand up, and it was too little, too late. Bam. Again, we're level. We are level here, Bass.
Oh, my word. And here's the thing. We have 8 seconds left in regulation. Boise, you still got a shot to even finish this now. No way. Is this? Oh, it's off the floor. Is it either? Oh my word, I thought we were done! My heart is about to burst! I can't do this!
Either way, the Crossbots will get the MVP award this series, am I right?
Oh my word, MVP, most valuable post. Jesus, this is absolutely back and forth right now. We're about to pull the hair out of my head, and Boise will finish it! Toxic, after putting us into overtime, will finish this one in 15 seconds as the demo is perfect and the shot is perfect as well. GG's as Boise will finish this one in 4.
Look, there is no doubt in my mind that Toxic was an offensive weapon. As long as Thunderama played inside to get Toxic to room, it was absolutely unstoppable. FSU brought it, but hey, when it came all down to it, Boise State earned a spot and a win for their squad. GG's, guys. GG's.
Oh my gosh. GG's indeed. That was one of, if not the most impressive comeback I've ever seen. Listen, I know we've been talking about all day today how, week 1 is setting the precedent for so many different things, for what's the top team going to be. This has set the precedent for do not quit. If you ever think that a game is over, that there is no shot for your team, you are out of your mind. Boise has proven today it is never time to call it quits. They were down 2-0 with I think a minute 30 left, and they brought it back in overtime. Toxic specifically, I should say, really brought it back. 3 goals on 8 shots. What a phenomenal finish out of Toxic. And yeah, I think we're getting told by our broadcaster that we might have a shot to interview him. I'd love to hear what's going through the mind of Toxic right now.
Yeah, I'll have to get the word in there. I do think Boise State did a fantastic job in a complete team play. And we also about this. Good teams, great teams, and elite teams. It's the one that can adjust to their opponents, find their weak spot, and exploit them in the throes of an actual series. And that's what Boise State did today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely incredible day. I mean, this is just, what a series to finish out on. I'll say that much. Listen, we've had some insane series today, so I was hoping that, hey, we'll live up to the expectation. We'll live up to them. I didn't think that we might beat most of them. I dare say this is one of the most intense series we've had all day. It was just back and forth the entire time, and that finish, oh my, that finish. Toxic, welcome to the booth, my friend. I think you might have a little bit to inform us about that finish. What was the vibe after you scored that final goal?
I mean, we all just blew up. It was so exciting. I mean, I'm still shaking from it. It was just really fun.
Congratulations, man. That was, when I say well-deserved victory, you guys fought as hard as ever. I'm not sure if you noticed the amount of time. You guys brought that back from 0-2 with about a minute 30 left. The fact that you were able to do that, the fact that not only that, but you were able to score, I believe, the last 3 goals for your team, literally putting the offense on your back with 8 total shots. I gotta imagine that was one of the most impressive performances you've had on offense in quite some time. What were your teammates saying as you were doing this?
I mean, they were just super excited. We started off a little rough for sure, especially on that last game with all those misses. But they were just hyping me up, making me feel good. So I mean, that's all you can ask from the teammates.
That's a question I always have when you have a game out there. You have all the thoughts in your world of being a hero. You make a couple misses or a couple of defensive miscues. It's very easy to get in your head in this game. What allows your team to power through? How do you guys hype each other up when it comes to making sure you have the resolve to press on?
Well, I mean, we are a team that gets in our head sometimes pretty easily. So we've developed just like talking to each other, like, "Hey, calm down. Let's hype each other up more." And it definitely pulls us out of that slump of getting in our heads.
I mean, you guys definitely very clearly got out of your slump, to put it simply. That last game was just incredibly impressive, and the tenacity to be able to do that is just incredible. Really, just well done game all around. You guys kept yourselves in that, and even at the very last second, when I thought that maybe there was just you're gonna have to try and recuperate in game number 4, or in game number 5, all of a sudden you guys finish in game number 4, and honestly, I'm still sitting here speechless. I have got no other questions, unfortunately, as I really am baffled by the incredible comeback. Novanta, I will leave it to you, my friend. If you've got any last questions for Toxic, let him know.
Yeah, just for someone that's been watching the progression of this series, having that being down in the first series and coming back the way you did, is any kind of like tips or tricks you do yourself to make sure that you don't lose sight of what the prize is?
I mean, really, it's just all about not getting in your head, like we talked about earlier. Because if that one mistake where I totally whiffed the ball and we got scored on, like if I let that get in my head, we wouldn't have kept winning and pushing ahead. But I definitely attribute that to my teammates keeping my head in the game. Because if without them, it definitely would have been a lot harder.
Excellent.
That was
Congrats.
an absolutely
Thank you,
incredible
guys.
game. Yeah, absolutely congratulations. Very well played. Honestly, well deserved. You guys fought to the very end there. And we were just saying before you hopped in, this is probably the comeback of the season so far. And you guys have set the bar very high for any other team that is going to try and do the same thing. So we will find out, how you guys do throughout the rest of the season. For right now, I will let you celebrate the win for right here. You guys got the momentum on your side as you go into the end of week number 1 and possibly, take this into week number 2. Congratulations on the win. We wish you guys luck in the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right, enjoy the rest of your night. So, with that, though, that is going to be the end of the night here. Before we sign off, I do want to give one last time here. You guys have heard it a couple of times today, but fortunately for us, because they are what make this possible, we have got sponsors and partners that we would like to thank before heading on out here. First one is MetaPro Gaming. MetaPro Gaming is a full-service esports management, developmental, and consulting company. Meta provides esports coaching, college esports management, arena design, and equipment. Visit them at metaprogaming.gg to learn more. And again, metaprogaming.gg to learn more. We also want to thank Respawn. Respawn products are forged for all-day comfort for content creators, professionals, and casual players, or anyone looking to upgrade their setup. I did exactly that. Respawn was gracious enough to send me a chair, and it is absolutely incredible. Super comfortable. Huge fan. Cannot recommend them enough. And Respawn has been battle-tested and achieves a level of comfort that leaves competitors in the dust. Live to play another day with Respawn, your battle-ready partner. Additionally, we would also like to thank HyperX. HyperX mission has been to develop gaming products for all types of gamers, high-speed memory, solid-state drives, and so much more. HyperX gear is the choice of celebrity ambassadors, pro gamers, tech enthusiasts, and overclockers worldwide because it meets the most stringent product specifications and is built with best-in-class opponents. I wear them all the time. I absolutely love my HyperX Cloud Alphas. They are amazing headphones, and I really, really do want to thank HyperX for helping us here at the NECC. Additionally, we'd like to thank Helix Esports, offering world-class gaming and virtual reality experiences at state-of-the-art esports centers throughout the United States. Helix Esports delivers a professional esports experience to everyone. Whether gamers choose to play, practice, socialize with friends, or compete at the highest level, Helix Esports is the premier destination for all gamers. Follow Helix Esports today at Helix Esports USA. Again, that is Helix Esports USA on social media. And our last one we would like to thank is ESTV, the first ever dedicated channel for esports and gaming personalities. The first channel devoted to 24/7 esports coverage can be found on a number of OTT platforms, including the Roku channel, Amazon Fire, Samsung TV, Sling TV, and Vizio FreeWatch. ESTV partners with the world's top gaming networks and production partners for the most robust esports content lineup on linear, online, and mobile. For more information, please visit ESTV at www.estv.co. Again, www.estv.co. Whew! Quite a mouthful.
You made
But
it, baby.
we
Woo!
did indeed make it. And Novanta, I want to thank you for sticking through with me through this journey, my man. You got to cast the last two matches of the night. You got to see the end of the action here. And thank you for sticking around with me, my man. What a final match we had. Incredible.
What a final match. What a final first week of this series. I'm on board. I'm all about it. I got to buy all the merch.
Well, we're glad to have you on board. We are glad to have all of the people behind the scenes that are helping us. Again, thank you to you, Novanta, for coming into the booth here today. Thank you to all of the new casters that are now on the scene as well. Like I said, it was just absolutely a phenomenal day of casting, and we're getting told behind the scenes that you might not have to wait as long as you would think. No, for that merch, Novanta, as we are getting some new merch soon. So everybody, be on the lookout for that. But before we head on out of here so that we can get all excited about the possible merch, I do want to thank two more people behind the scenes here. Want to thank our director of esports, Caleb Gluby, as well as our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan. They are so influential to everything we do here at the NECC, so thank you to them behind the scenes. But besides that, that is going to be it for week number 1. Novanta, again, thank you very much for being here, my friend. Absolute blast casting with you, and I hope that we get to do it again soon.
Absolutely.
All right. And for the NECC, again, my name is BassFromThePast. That is Novanta with me. We will be signing off. We will see all you lovely ladies and gentlemen and everything in between next week. For right now, have a